I really love to take the back is from the mounted position. Now, we're already in really what I consider to be a very good, strong, dominant position. There's two ways to take the back from the mount that I use. There's probably more that I could probably figure out and you can watch on YouTube, but these are the two that I like. The first one is, I go to make armbar. What does he do? He locks his hands and he pulls down. No problem. I'm gonna reach around and I'm gonna grab this underneath his head. Then I'm gonna push on his elbow and his shoulder and I'm gonna start rolling him. We call this the ratchet. Once I get here, I get low on his hips, grab the elbow, pull it in, that gives me the choke. Does that make sense? Sure. Everybody, walk me through the ratchet. By the numbers, what do I do?
Grab the arm.
Grab the arm.
All right, I grab the arm. He starts making defense. All right, I reach under and I pin it. I use my chest, I'm still holding on. I pin it here, then I grab the elbow. Now what? I start pushing. I pull with my left hand, push with the right. He's not gonna go very far. I make some room. Get behind his shoulder, ratchet him again, a little farther. Once I get here, I want this under his body. Push him forward, exposes the neck, make the choke. Does that make sense?
Sir.
Everybody needs to do that one. And we'll do number 2 next.
Sir.
I like to remind everybody that Jiu Jitsu is a process, it's not a move. If I want to punch somebody, it's a move. If I want to kick somebody, it's just a move. But this is a process. How am I going to get him where I want him? That's the question. If I just grab this hand and start shoving it over by his head, he'll never let me. He doesn't want me to do it. But if I act like I'm going to armbar him, you see how I did that? Now watch, his hand is in the right position. I use my body to move that there, and I can now grab that wrist. Now, I'm in a good position. Everybody see how I'm underneath his head?
Sir.
I've got this gripped, okay? For him to get this hand back is almost impossible. Go ahead and just get that hand. It's just, the shoulder's not designed really for strength, moving the hand this way. Sorry, buddy. So then, I've got him kind of pinned. I'm gonna grab his elbow, and I'm gonna pull with the left hand here, and push with the right hand here, and then give him a little space. Little space, because I don't want him to roll me over where I'm off of him. Then I get him to this position. Some of you have missed this point. I control this elbow. I reach in. I can't just pull it. I might not be strong enough. So I shove his body forward. The hands work, my legs work. That gets me this opening. Then I get here, through the ear, and I start to squeeze. He taps, and that's the magic, okay? Makes sense?
Sir.
It's a process. It's kind of like if you're going to bake a cake, change a tire, it's a process. If you skip a step, you're going to notice things don't work very well, okay? Hand position counts. Working against his natural weaknesses is important. Keeping our base, right? I don't want to be here where he can just kind of roll me off with almost no effort. That's going to defeat the purpose. I'm wide, right? I want to have a lot of points of contact on the ground. Any questions on that one? You didn't get enough practice to master it in 5 minutes, so practice this again and again today. And then if you're still needing some work, after class, get with us and let's practice some more. Again, this one works off of what? How do I stimulate the whole move? I'm looking for an armbar. Don't most people expect an armbar here?
Sir.
By the way, if I go like this and he doesn't go into defense, what should I do?
Armbar.
Just, armbar, right? You just go for it, right? If he makes defense, we are anticipating armbar defense. Now I lay on that and it sets up this hand. Sorry, buddy. All right, make sense?
Sure.
All right, similarly, option 2. I dig deep. Doesn't matter if he makes defense or not. Then I pull and lift my leg. Okay? Now he's thinking I'm probably going for armbar again. Make sense? Except I'm going to reach deep on this hand. Right hand stays here. Left hand is on the back. I try to grab some clothes. Now I'm going to arch him up, and then I'm going to slide my foot under. I'm going to take the back this way. And I'm going to look for my choke. Okay? Does that make sense? Sure. So again, y'all call the shots. Step 1, what do?
Grab the arm.
And what am I expecting?
Lift it up.
Lift it up.
All right. He's probably going to make armbar defense. If he doesn't matter. And what do I do with this? How do I lift it up? Like this? Oh, Jeremy says lift the knee. That gives me a little extra strength, right? I've got him. Now what do I do?
Reach deep.
Reach deep.
Reach deep. And
pull and kick your leg.
Arch him up. Kick, turn him to me. Right? I still control this arm. I can start making the choke here. If he grabs that arm for defense, no problem. I can make this one and start going, okay?
Sir.
Questions on that move? All right, both of these are armbar entries into taking the back and going for choke. Good. New partner. However we decide to ultimately take this person's back really is just a function of understanding where they are. I got to get them turned to face the other way somehow. Does that make sense?
Sir.
There's a number of ways that we can really do that, okay? I kind of do like still working this position here, right? I really like this one. This one works really well. You can really start pulling their body around, and they may turtle up on you, or they may try to shrimp or buck you off or something of that nature. All of that is going to be great. But once you get them to a point where you've got them lifted up, you've powered them up, okay? This needs to be quick, right? I could make him think I'm going to choke him. He starts to resist a little bit, that's fine. I can yank him now, set, grab, and I want him here. Now we call this baby arms. Grab the collar, put it on the back of his neck, rotate your wrists underneath his arms. Why do we call it baby arms? He can't really do much. The arms are kind of stuck. Then, when you're ready to choke, at some point, you let go and you start to dig. He'll stop you. He'll hold that arm, right? You get halfway, that's fine. Then you start to clear. Clear, push. He grabs it again. Clear, clear, push. Now I'm pretty close. I can hold on to my own uniform here. I can't choke him well, but I can choke him a little bit. But I can hold forever. Make sense?
Sir.
Then I'm going to dig this behind his head this way, or behind my head this way. The reason I like to grab behind my head is now when I arch my back, that's what chokes him. You kind of want to go here, here. Does that make sense? So I'm using my back muscles to choke him. Pretty cool? If I look at the back of his head and he decides to throw his head back, he headbutts me in the face. I am here. I don't need to see anything. He wants to headbutt the top of my head, not the end of the world. I want to control him. This is my favorite position with a gi. Without a gi, this is my favorite position. Kind of like a seat belt, right? We want to hold him. If we could, it might be fun, particularly if he's holding on to one of these arms, he's trying to break. I can now get my knee into place here. See how my knee is on the outside of his elbow? Let go of this, pull it down. Now I can lock this. He could try to get his feet up there, but without his hand, it might be difficult. He got his foot up there, that's going to grind me, so I'm going to basically say, here is pretty good. All right? That arm's kind of pinned. What can I do now? I can hold this one. I can move to here, right? So now I've got an armbar. Can we make that move?
Yes, sir.
So again, if you start with baby arms, you could technically just go pull back, stretch him, foot goes out, palm the head, and there it is. Notice I still held on right here. It's immobilizing him. Now I've got the armbar. But if you want to make sure he doesn't escape you, I like baby arms, right? And then over the top, if I can control this with the leg, now I've got this. There's a couple of steps you can do to help immobilize them until you get there. Make sense?
Sure.
So we start with, what position is this when the feet are like this? Hooks. Right? This is the back position with the hooks. That's when I say hooks, this is what I want. This is no hooks. He will probably walk away. This is hooks. And what position is this?
Baby arms.
Back with baby arms and hooks, right? Now notice, I can do this, and all I can do is just hold him. I can stretch him out, right? If I stretch him out, now I can make this choke immediately. So again, having the baby arms position is pretty cool. If you get one over, one under, look at this, kind of looks like a choke already, doesn't it? Right? I pull back, I stretch him out, I just change to here. You start here, he's gonna probably try to control the top hand, right? Make sense? Grab this hand. He can still try to control my hand, but now I just move. You see how I kind of worked him? I step by step kind of got my angle. So here's the challenge, because we want to be fast. And we do this. And look at all the space. He's just going to slide out. He's going to grab my ankles. He's going to escape me. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start digging. He's going to grab that hand because he doesn't like it. Go use both hands. Grab it. Now, I'm just going to hold on to him. Everybody see how I've got a handful of his shirt?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and pull that arm off, Billy. Pull it off. Use your man strength. Here you go. So see, I'm one-handed because I'm holding his shirt. I pretty much got it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch and grab this wrist right here, the sleeve, right? Now, I'm going to use the sleeve to kind of pull this in. See how my sleeve is tightening it up? Then I'm going to knife it across his back. And what is this called? Or Ezekiel, right? Now, I've got him, okay? Now, he's going to hold on and not let me choke him. Super strength, right? I could try to muscle this with my wrists. It may work if I'm strong. But watch my back. See how I just use my back muscles? I just slid right back. That's how I tighten him up. Does that make sense? So again, I could try to do this move, which gives me just arm strength. But I'm already here. I get it in place. Now what am I really doing? I'm pulling my arm into his neck using my back. Okay, make sense? By the way, if you want to switch, you can break this off, get deeper, and now you got this one again. But this one, go ahead and grab it. This one is, I'm never going to choke him, right? This is hard for me to choke. Just grab this one, and I start. Now I'm pretty tight. Took up the space, right? I make Ezekiel. Give it a try, like that, Billy. This is the one. Get the hand under, grab your sleeve, use that as a lever. Choke him. Don't get wrapped around the axle, which is an army way of saying you lose momentum or you forget you're missing progress. If you want to call this thing sleeve choke or Ezekiel choke or some other thing, whatever choke you want to call it, it's up to you. Some people on the internet might say Ezekiel choke is from the mouth and looks different. It's without a gi. You need a gi if you're going to do this, so it's technically a sleeve choke. But a lot of people still call that Ezekiel. All right. I start here. Okay? I dig. He stops me. I grab his shirt. Right? Now again, I'm not choking him. I don't really want him to make a violent reaction. But he should be pulling on his hand. Right? Pull. Like right? The reason is my hand's not that strong, but there's a lot of friction. This elbow can't go any farther forward without my shoulder coming out of the socket, and this hand is kind of stuck. Now, I want to make this tighter. I want to take up the space. So I grab this. Watch this lever action. See how I put this behind his back? And that tightens the choke up. I was here, he's holding, and I get it here. You could also make a gable grip and get to here, but I'm setting everything up. I use my head to get behind here. Take this space up. I want my sleeve to touch his neck. If my wrist turns this way, the wrist will bend, it won't work. Does that make sense? You guys see how my hand is?
Sir.
It's this way. You want the bone on his neck. Take up the space. Now, again, I could, hold tight, don't let me choke you. I could try to muscle this just with my arms. He's holding pretty strong. But once I lean back and it tightens all this up, it's hard for him to resist because I'm using the strongest part of my structure against really two hands that are slowly getting closer and closer. He's kind of choking himself with his fingers are in the way, but he's still getting choked. Okay? So again, there's a couple of subtle things. Start here. Anticipate he's not going to let you choke him. If he lets you choke him, whoop, just finish it. right? But if I can't get my hand into a locking position because he's stopped me here, no problem, just hold, right? By the way, in MMA, we start hitting him. Does that make sense?
Sir.
Okay, in self-defense, hit him in the groin, right? All those will work. You can rake the eyes. All that will work. I promise you he'll let go of his hand if I stick my fingers in his eyes. Does that make sense? By the way, that's just self-defense stuff. Okay, so here I are. I go ahead and grab this, and I start manipulating my hand back. I just gained about 2 inches there. Lock it in, suck it up, lean back. You should have the choke.
Sir.
Any questions on that choke? Let's go ahead and make it clear. Lay on the mat, please. Let's go and make it clear that if we're doing a no-gi Ezekiel choke, it's going to look a lot like we're doing the first move, right? We get here, he goes to defend. I push this down and I get this move, right? Right? I can choke here. That's not the Ezekiel at all. But that's the basic idea of the first move for the ratchet, right? So I get here and then I push this to the ground, right? Now I grab it like I'm gonna do that ratchet. Then I stick this across his neck. That's Ezekiel. See all that hole? That's the sleeve part. I've made something to lever against. Pretty cool.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So by the way, if you're kind of sneaky, and you're able to get this here, right? And you get this here and you're kind of holding on, you can bend that wrist and you got a really nasty wrist lock, right? Or you can go right in for Ezekiel choke. Okay? Don't worry about the mount choke at this point. Pretty cool?
Yes, sir.
I could. Here we are, baby arms, or you can see belt him however it is that you want to do. Okay? So if you want to do a really easy, super fun gi choke, this hand's already ready. Pull this out, stuff your thumb in it. All right, so we're here, gable grip, holding. He might be struggling, doesn't matter. We're looking to grab this and feed this hand deep. This hand's already where it needs to be, right? I'm going to not do this because he can keep his elbow to his body. That'll stop me. I want to do this. Then behind the head. And this is single wing choke. Does that make sense?
Sir.
All right.
Sir.
Yeah.
Gonna do some throat hardening or something. Toughen up that throat, right? Like those Shaolin monks.
Me too, man.
So anyways, here we are, one under, one over. This is a natural setup for the single wing choke. I grab this and feed my hand in. I can even hold here while he's trying to get this hand off. He doesn't like that hand there. Doesn't matter. Do I go here?
No.
Here. And here. Now I'm in position. I cut like a knife across the throat. I want to pull this in a circle, and then I push the head into my wrist. Can we do it?
Yes, sir.
Single wing choke. Thank you, Lyndon. So there are a lot of really neat things that we can do from the back, and we're about out of time, so I just want you to kind of take a quick look. From baby arms, I can feed here, I can go here, sliding a pet choke. Does that make sense?
Sir.
From baby arms, I feed here, I lift, single wing. Does that make sense?
Sir.
From baby arms, snake across, right? Behind your head, rear naked choke, right? From baby arm, snake across, here, okay? Grab here, this is Hadaka. This is a different choke. It's similar to this one, but again, I'm leveraging here, all right? Lots of neat chokes. We already talked about from here, I can palm the head and make what? Armbar. So who saw the next move, like similar to that? Triangle, right? Same sort of thing. I gotta have an arm and a leg. I'm gonna get here, trap, and then I'm going to move up, grab, triangle, or straight arm lock here. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is a Renshi special. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna turn her head and I'm going to grind her chin and make a small neck crank here, and I'm gonna grind here. Is that uncomfortable?
That sucks.
So again, she may or may not tap if she's tough, but you will torment them this way. See how I'm cranking that neck? when she's trying to make defense, I can decide what I want to do. I think I'm going to go this way. Okay. I can also go this way, right? I can also go this way.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, so there's all kinds of things that you can do from the rear position. Okay? You're only limited by your lack of creativity. So be creative. Get with your partner when you get time and think, okay, first of all, how do I even get here? We showed you a couple ways. The ratchet and the arm lift from the armbar position, right? Don't get headbutted in the face. Look away. Baby arms. Okay? If you want, hold tight. Torment her here for a minute. Right? She won't like that for long. Right? Dig and feed. Dig and feed. Push in armbar. Sit up in wrist lock. Turn here for Americana. Turn down here for Kimura. All of those are there. Shift back over for triangle choke. Pretty cool?
Yes, sir.
Any questions on the back? What is something that you know we didn't talk about tonight from the back position?
Heck strangle.
Okay, I didn't do that one. Twister.
Escaping.
Escaping. We didn't talk about escaping. All right, there's a number of ways we don't want to be here. There's a low escape, grabbing the feet. There's a high escape when we bridge. There's some other tricky things you could do to try not to be in this position. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Pretty cool?
Sure.
Who likes the back?
Woo.
Who seeks the back? We don't seek the back enough in this class, and here's why. I want to be on top. So I teach you what I want to do. I want to be on top. I like the mount. I like side control. I like neon position. Don't get me wrong. I fight. If someone gives me the back or they do something that opens up the back, I'll take the back any day of the week. If I get seatbelt throw, I end up on the back. Okay? All right, on your feet.